Adelaide United's inaugural cup winners. Chris Economides wins the cup for Melbourne victory. Sydney FC, they win the cup. And MacArthur, for the second time, are Australia Cup winners.
It's Cup night in Australia. The Hahn Australia Cup ready to go for 2025. And from a venue famous in the Cup's history, Green Gully Reserve hosts Avondale FC against Stirling, Macedonia. It may not be the true home of Avondale FC, but they'll be hoping for a bit of that magic of the Cup that back in 2016 gave us Boland. As for Stirling, Macedonia, they would love to become just the third Football West team to win on the national stage and go to the round of 16. Fans rolling in. Great to see an away contingent as well. And we've seen Stirling Macedonia training at Preston Lions, their Melbourne-based sister club, during the course of the last couple of days. So they've been able to acclimatise on what is a chilly night in Melbourne. So let's go to the teams and see how they line up. Avondale currently sits second in NPL Victoria. They have made just two changes to the team that last played in a 1-1 draw against Dandenong City at the weekend. It's the inclusion of Stefan Valentini, the number 22, the pacey wide player, and their talisman in midfield, Christian Trycheski. A look at the bench as well sees a couple of real wild cards. Sian Cuba, long shot specialist, Kerr, South Sudanese international, and also Stefan Ziddy, former A-League player as well. Stirling Macedonia, they are currently in an upswing in NPL WA. They sit fifth on the table at present, and they have made three changes to the team that played most recently in a 2-1 win against Sorrento at the weekend, including their Cup hero goalkeeper James Bodsett, who was part of a penalty shootout win and also saved a penalty in extra time to get Stirling Macedonia through to this round of 32. Calvin Whitney and also Alex Ternevsky are the other inclusions. So both teams making their way out onto the pitch. It is Stirling Macedonia's first time on this national stage. Of course, we've come to know their ground very well, Macedonia Park, because it was the home of Perth Glory there during HBF Park redevelopments for a couple of seasons. Avondale, this is their fourth time out onto the national stage. They made the quarterfinals in 2018, eliminated by Sydney FC. They made the round of 16 in 2021, eliminated by Wellington, and they also made the round of 16 in 2022, going all the way to penalties against the Brisbane Roar. So they've never been knocked out of the Cup by anything other than an A-League opponent. That doesn't bode well for Stirling Macedonia here, but they would love to chalk up their own little piece of history. A lot of cold but smiling mascots, which is great to see, enjoying the moment out on the pitch as handshakes take place. And it gives me the chance to welcome to the broadcast Phil Moss. Mossy, it's a cold, difficult night in Melbourne. It would have been a bit of a culture shock for the boys from WA. Avondale are flying in Melbourne. Stirling are climbing their table in the West. It's a compelling matchup.
It certainly is, Taya. Great to be alongside you. You've just described perfect Cup weather for football, so can't wait for this first ball to be kicked in anger, but all the pressure's on Avondale, isn't it? They've been to the round of 32 twice, won both games. It's Stirling Macedonia's first visit to the round of 32, so the stage is set for a thrilling game tonight.
That's our referee holding the ball there, Johnny Barrero. Assistants next to him there are William Samza and also Jackson Landy, and the fourth official is Astro Sakalis. Teams posing for their photos. There's the Avondale outfit, of course. They made their first ever Australia Cup appearance in an Italian derby against the Marconi Stallions back in 2018, a night that they won again at a home away from home. That was at Hume City's ground, another well-known venue on the national stage. They can't use their own ground because the lighting isn't as glorious as it is here at Green Gully. These are new lights, Mossy, that were installed during the off-season, and they are the best in Victoria. At least that's what the Green Gully people will tell you, and they always have an immaculate pitch. So in terms of the quality of football and how Avondale would like to play, they couldn't actually ask for a better setting.
No, that's right. And look, they're going to have to get used to the lights if they're not already used to playing under them because of their afternoon kickoffs. But it is a wonderful setting. Look, the crowd's starting to roll in. The atmosphere's thick. We love the cup. And will there be a cup set tonight? And it would be a cup set if Stirling Macedonia, I think, can get over Avondale.
It certainly would, because West Australian teams, Football West teams, I should say, not specifically the Glory, but teams from the Football West leagues, do not have a stellar record. This is the 11th edition of the Cup. We've only ever seen a West Australian team win 2 ties. It was Sorrento in 2018 and also Olympic Kingsway last year. So at least Kingsway are back in the round of 32. They're building some consistency, but this is a big moment for Stirling Macedonia. They're here for the first time.
That's what we love about the Cup, isn't it? It creates the stage and the platform for teams to do the unexpected and players to stand up on the stage and maybe get a deal or a move to a higher level or a bigger club.
So we've got over on the right side Stefan Valentini. He runs over to his position on the wing. Avondale in the blue to take kickoff. Manny Agwek gets things underway. It's the round of 32 in the Hahn Australia Cup 2025. Avondale FC against Stirling Macedonia from Green Gully Reserve. So at the centre of defence, the wind is certainly favouring the left of screen for Stirling at the moment, and an early tester from Aston Montgomery to give away a free kick, and Avondale will take it quickly. Bit of a misplaced pass. Again, you can see the effect of the wind. That was Samuel Dway who took possession. He's the top scorer for Stirling Macedonia coming into this game. Avondale get the ball back, and even the referees had a first touch. So immediately, Mossy, you can see the havoc that the wind is playing with this contest. Hopefully it's not this gusty the entire game.
That's right. You can see the players are really having to go through their passes. Jonathan Barrero wanting an early touch just to get his eye in for the new season of the Australia Cup. No doubt he'll be working on his foot skills leading into the new A-League season as well.
So from right back, Avondale build. Emlyn Wellsmore there. Dual citizen, Australian New Zealand international, who can play on the right or the left. Misplaced pass here might be a window of opportunity for Stirling Macedonia. Instead, it's going to be a first touch of the game for Thomas Manos in goal for Avondale, a player with vast experience both in the New South Wales and the Victorian NPL now. Over the course of his career, the goalkeeper. Really does look like it's running uphill for Avondale at the moment, and again, they have not got their radar in. You wouldn't know they warmed up out on the pitch due to the number of misplaced passes already. A little dink out to the right side. It's going to be kept in cleverly by Stefan Valentini. However, Stirling able to offer some resistance and win a free kick in defensive midfield.
I'm looking forward to the performance of Stefan Valentini tonight. He's a tricky winger. We know that he's capable of getting past his defender in those one-on-one situations. He's got an action. His team's certainly going to need him to produce his best tonight, particularly in these conditions. It can be a great leveller, a wind like this.
And so this is James Bodsett. He was the Cup hero through the knockout rounds in Western Australia. His saves in a penalty shootout win against the Western Knights in round 6 were crucial. And then he stepped up and he saved a penalty when Stirling Macedonia, I should say, were leading 1-0 in extra time of their match. Through the left side. And, well, Manos takes possession with a little bobble, but he's finding his bearings as well as he rolls out to the centre of defence.
It was just half an opening, wasn't it, for Samuel Dway? Found his way in behind the Avondale FC defence, and just a sneaky poke on goal.
Luca Tavir, former Melbourne City junior, left the club's academy and started his senior NPL career in 2021 and has gone from strength to strength As we see Stirling Macedonia take possession, Aston Montgomery playing it back to the heart of the defence, and now a long rangy ball down the left. Second ball is there to be won. Yite Towns showed strength, but Samuel Dway is in to nick it off his toes. Now a chance to build for Calvin Whitney, one of the inclusions tonight to the starting 11. He's popped up for a couple of goals this season at key times in the league campaign. As the ball tumbles out for a throw, Avondale want to take it quickly here. Emlyn Wellsmore venturing into the attacking third, building a bit of support, but the centre defence stands tall. And away wheels Daniel Edwards down the left-hand side now. Ran into a 1-on-2.
Well, it was a heavy touch from Edwards, wasn't it? They're just still struggling, Avondale, to come to terms with the roll of the ball, the pace of the ball, playing into that really stiff breeze. Stirling Macedonia with it in their back. Avondale having to run straight into the teeth of it.
Calvin Whitney roaming around the pitch over to the right now to help out. And Edwards, you see the backspin on the ball as he blazes away. Someone's going to have to go and retrieve that ball from over the top of the pavilion. Stirling level with the top of the penalty area, so the build-up continues. Ewan Cameron wheeling around. Now the cross in over the head of Manos, and Dway not able to make a play at it at the back post initially, and he got his ankles tapped, so a free kick in a potentially dangerous position here for Stirling Macedonia. They're thinking about taking it quickly. Are they going to set it up, or it looks as though they are going to take their time and be patient after good play from Samuel Dway to protect the ball?
Yeah, he did well, didn't he? It was a good delivery to the back post. Here you see it again, just a little bit too much enthusiasm. I think it was Wellsmore that just got too physical with Samuel Dway.
Don't rule out the direct shot on goal, even on this tight angle. In-swinging free kick, a wall of blue shirts able to repel. Edge of the penalty area, bouncing ball, not quite coming under control for Cade Fernell in a way that could favour a shot on goal, and then headed from the edge of the area. Tavir takes possession for Avondale. The back pass has got a couple of players just slip-sliding. A little bit unsure of their footing, but eventually coming away here. Stefan Valentini being able to show his close control. Yite Towns.
Yeah, you certainly wouldn't call it sustained pressure from Stirling Macedonia at this stage, but they've had just a couple of openings. One down the right-hand side with Dway, and then of course that good delivery to the back post for Dway. They're showing they've got the ability to get in behind Avondale when the opportunity presents itself.
Adjusting to the physicality difference between the teams might be a factor as well. It's a Victorian referee. Johnny Barrera would know Avondale quite well, but so far Stirling Macedonia have been quite smart, able to draw a couple of fouls, break up the play. So it's a long-range free kick down to the right side of attack, and maybe the chance to create something for Alex Tanevski. He's able to win a throw-in, Tanevski. He's their second top scorer with 4 in the league and 2 in the cup this season, so he's currently operating out wide, but he's definitely a threat a bit closer to the target. Throw-in taken here. Calvin Whitney knocks it down. Tight triangle of passes. Forward comes Cade Fernell, and that will be a corner kick. So right now, set pieces are going Stirling Macedonia's way, and Mossy, from the research I've done, they love favouring the right flank. If they attack wide, it's almost exclusively on the right side, and it does lead to a lot of cross and cutback goals.
Yeah, that's right. That's what our research suggests, and they're proving that point in these early stages, but they've certainly settled on the ball, and they're using the wind to their advantage.
Avondale do have quite a tall team, but you can see the 19 shirt, Callum McKenzie. He's one of the dangers here. It's a flat corner, and it is first head for Stirling, Macedonia, but held onto by Thomas Manos. A powerful overarm throw to try and start a counter. Long ball played by Luca Tavir, and out of his line comes James Bosdet, and putting it out for a throw-in. I don't want to waste any time here. Avondale, Yusuf Ahmed brings the ball in. Cuts it central. Emlyn Wellsmore. It's a shot on target, and James Bosdet got his body behind it.
And luckily so, I think, because he didn't take it cleanly with his hands. So it was good that he had his body behind that one, but gee whiz, into this wind, Avondale are going to have to get some power behind their strikes if they're going to take them from outside the box.
So a long ball here with the wind at their backs. This is going to be a cause to go and chase, and Thomas Manos is going to be ready for pretty much any pass, I imagine, that is hit like that out of the defensive half if the wind continues to howl the way that it is. Edwards plays it back to the centre of defence. Matthew Reid. And now Aidan Bryce, very highly rated centre-back of Avondale. Touch in midfield was misdirected and allows Samuel Dway to put a foot on the ball. Looks as though it is going to be after some protest. And Avondale throw in. And then quickly cleared away. Misplaced touch from Manny Agweg has given possession back to Stirling in their attacking half. Yite Towns snapping at the heels. Can he win the ball back? He can't. Riley Warland put a foot in for Stirling. Again, both teams think it's their throw in. And it's going to be Stirling who have a free kick instead. At least that's what Ewan Cameron is indicating. So wide on the right, and a natural left footer in Riley Warland is going to take it. Picture in picture, you can see the foul.
Yeah, it's a good decision, Jonathan Barrero.
So Warland, the ball's going to swing towards the goalkeeper. Not taken conclusively on the first grab, but he was able to pop back up and hold on at the second time of asking.
Yeah, Tommy Manos, plenty of experience. I remember him being at Manly United at one stage as well. I think Sydney United, Sydney FC, of course.
He's got great aerobic ability to leap. Does Manos. Right now, though, it's all about having the ball at the feet for Avondale. They want to keep it out of the air. They want to maintain some control, and they are slowly but surely advancing here. Aidan Bryce, now it's time to go the aerial route. It's going to bend kindly and fall into the path of Wellsmore. Tavir, back to Wellsmore. It'll hold up nicely for him, but he's not able to send a ball into the penalty area because he was shut down one-on-one.
Yeah, good defending by Stirling Macedonia. They got the numbers behind the ball.
Wellsmore, Tavir, Towns. All the way back to Matthew Reid. Reid now takes 20 metres, advances, it slides under the foot of Tavir. Towns scrambling, not able to get to the ball before Callum McKenzie. Stirling happy to begin at the centre of defence. That's a really clever, incisive pass out to the right flank. And then that pass inboard was anticipated by Edwards. He cut it off before it could arrive with Tenevsky. And so it's Daniel Edwards breaking into the attacking half for Avondale. And running into trouble was Manny Agweg. He wasn't able to keep the attack going. Whitney. So from centre back, Riley Warland plays it over to Cade Fernell. Long ball requires a powerful header from Aidan Bryce. It's good to see that the walkway over on the outer side of the fence, Mossy, is starting to populate with fans.
Yeah, that's right. It's your stereotypical State League ground, isn't it? Where the crowd's very close to the pitch. Needs a goal to bring the atmosphere to life.
Wellsmore very patiently happy to reset. Edwards didn't like his options. Matthew Reid trying to get something going, and a free kick will be Avondale's reward. Manny Agwek was felled. Free kick taken quickly. Yusuf Ahmed, you can see his shirt blustering in the wind. A really good slide challenge comes in from Edwards. Yusuf Ahmed wants this attack to keep going. There's been a slip ahead of the ball that frees him up to shoot. Parried and out for a corner. Good save, Bosdet, and a good run and shot from Yusuf Ahmed. He refused to give up on that attacking phase.
Oh, fantastic action, wasn't it? Ahmed with a good strike, good trickery around the edge of the area, and then got some real purchase on his strike there, as you can see him trying to pick out the far corner. But Bosdet was up to the challenge with a fantastic one-handed save.
7 in the league this season for Yusuf Ahmed. And now we see a tumbling corner into the near post. It sits up in the 6-yard box, and it's scrambled off the post. There were enough yellow shirts in the way. Avondale didn't quite get a full-blooded swing of the foot and the ball at close range. Bryce tries for the switch. It's going to be sent out for a throw at the halfway line.
Well, we're almost just waiting for the net to bowl, weren't we then? Stirling Macedonia dodged a bit of a bullet. The ball was bouncing freely inside the 6-yard box.
Agwek, Wellsmore, taken away from Towns. Now through the left side, Dway chasing from deep. Was at a disadvantage there against Reid, who sends it back to Manos.
Look, the final pass let them down into the path of Dway, but gee, they played their way out of danger. Deep in their defensive third, really well there, Stirling Macedonia, I should say, wrong sport. But very confident on the ball with their 1 and 2 touch.
There's plenty for Avondale to keep in the back of their mind. They can't get too boisterous going forward due to the counter-attacking prowess of Stirling Macedonia. Free kicks going their way here. So again, another attack breaks down. No thoughts of a short pass. It is going to be roosting it all the way out for a goal kick. A bit of a missed opportunity, but...
Yeah, well, I think with this, the strength of this wind behind them, they really need to go diagonally if they're going to go long, because there's just not enough pitch for a long pass with this sort of wind behind them. It's going to be straight.
Scrambling in, Whitney. You saw him crab walk away and get back to his feet. He's following Luca Tavira around, so you can tell Stirling have done their homework on some of the key playmakers for Avondale. They've got quite a few. Yusuf Ahmed. Rangy crossfield ball. Edwards exploding forward from defence. Plays the early pass. It tumbles to the penalty spot. It hasn't been cleared decisively. And over the head. Well, I'm not sure if Manny Agwek heard a shout from someone, but he just seemed to plant his feet and watch the ball sail away, and Stirling won't mind that.
Yeah, that was strange, wasn't it? Because there was no one anywhere near Manny Agwek. He seemed to have what would have been a quite simple tap-in had he taken a step backwards to read the flight of the ball. But again, as you see, some really good work down the left-hand side by Edwards. And here it is here. You can just see the ball floated up. Gee whiz. Wasn't far off just getting up for a simple tap in at the back post there. Just another warning sign fired by Avondale across the bow of Stirling, Macedonia.
Let's see if Warland has honed his radar after the recent free kick that just blazed straight out. A bit more finesse behind this one, but it's still first head Avondale. Now challenging at the edge of the box. Tanevski can't get to the ball before Daniel Edwards, who's been filled with motivation. He's one of the ones really driving things for Avondale almost at the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, he's had a very lively start to this game, hasn't he? Teo, he's been up and down on that left-hand side, delivered a couple of quality crosses into the box. Certainly been a main danger for Avondale.
Tavir. Quick head check for what was happening up the pitch. Went back to Wellsmore. His pass just had enough juice on it to find a teammate. Yusuf Ahmed was sold into trouble against the line there, but did very well to reach out his long legs and keep the ball in. Keep Avondale in control of the tempo. Matthew Reid. See possession there very much skewed in Avondale's favour, but that was perhaps the pattern you could have anticipated, with one team ball dominant and the other happy to counter-attack. Here's Wellsmore. One long ball had Avondale down into the corner, but it's a short-lived stay. Hayden Bryce. Edwards. Clever from Valentini. He's trying to use his straight line speed and his dribbling skill here, but he's been stood up by some excellent defending from Brent Quick over at right back.
Well, dare we say he was very quick. It was Brent Quick to close down the space. He knows the threat that Valentini possesses. Very good defending in a one-on-one.
See yellow shirts clustered all around the ball at the moment. Everyone staying alert for the visiting side as the ball is hurled into the penalty area. Tavir on the spin. Tries to lift the ball to a teammate. It's knocked down, not to the advantage of any of the Avondale attackers. An improvised volley over the shoulder, but Avondale are going to consolidate possession.
It's more the moments in transition where Avondale are getting their joy. You can see Stirling Macedonia are well organised defensively. When Avondale build up from the back, they're not giving a lot of space away in the midfield.
Dway on the outside, bombing forward and winning a corner kick. So Stirling Macedonia with another set piece opportunity. The Riley Warland we came to know at Perth Glory was a left-sided defender, so those instincts don't get switched off just because he's playing centre-back tonight.
No, that's right. Again, Stirling Macedonia just working some space down the left-hand side, keeping Avondale on their toes defensively.
Well, for whatever reason, the preference was a short corner, and they turn a corner into a throw, so it's not quite the attacking menace they might have been hoping for. They do still have the ball down their attacking end. Bustling run here from Aiden Bryce. Luca Tavir didn't like any of his forward pass options. This has been the story of the first quarter of the game so far for Avondale.
Yeah, and it's a credit to Stirling Macedonia. They're their defensive structure is sound. They all know their roles and responsibilities without the ball. They're putting pressure on the ball in the right areas, blocking the passing lanes. As I said, it's those transition moments.
The ball held up in the wind. This might work out perfectly for Tavir. Goalkeeper's committed. And around the corner, saved away. Christian Trajewski denied by a defence scrambling back full of commitment.
Scrambling back with commitment to make up for their own ills, really. They almost gifted Avondale a goal there.
Little step over attempted from Yusuf Ahmed after he nearly lost the ball, and now in the blink of an eye, Stirling Macedonia are breaking into attack. Here goes Whitney. Can he bring the ball under his command? He has to concede a little bit of territory. Avondale defence is now set behind the ball, but the build-up continues. Tenevsky trying to get between the lines. A quick 1-2. And a bit of ground conceded. Long ball over the top. Manos will watch that pitch and then accelerate out for a goal kick. So we've got a cup tie that remains delicately in the balance here, and I'm sure everyone back in Western Australia, whether they are Stirling Macedonia followers or just part of the Football West extended community, hoping that WA can have a cup winner. They would be pretty encouraged by what they've seen so far. Players with more touches of the ball than anyone have been the two Avondale centre-backs. It means the possession stat is not overly compelling at the moment because they are in their defensive half looking for something to unlock. Agwek, Ahmed, Edwards. He has been a bright spark getting Avondale forward. Ahmed, this is shooting range for him even on a windy day. And Stirling Macedonia were awake to it. Great full body slide to get in front of the shot and make a block. Dway showing his skill. Can he evade his marker though? Really committed stuff from Wellsmore, and then Reed went in for a big bite. Advantage given, and the attack continues. McKenzie swings it into the box. Back to goal work. He is not going to be able to bear fruit. Through comes Aidan Bryce, and that's why he's one of the premier defenders outside the A-League system playing for Avondale.
Yeah, well, first of all, you can put that opportunity, or that half opportunity, to Stirling Macedonia down to that brilliant block on the edge of their own area, down the other end by Calvin Whitney. He really did throw himself at that strike. I think it was Manny Agwek that pulled the trigger. That's the sort of desperation his coach, Ergo Mojic, will be delighted to see.
Mojic, coach with history in Sweden and Bosnia before moving to Western Australia, where he's called Australia home for some 15 years now, both as a player and a coach. Experienced in the Perth Glory system as well at under 20 and under 23 level. And now making a name for himself. He's been in charge of Stirling Macedonia for just over a year. Back into a familiar pattern for the two Avondale centre-backs. Yite Towns. Neat turn in midfield by Agwek, and now he can distribute out to the right. Yusuf Ahmed is herring after the ball. He meets it in stride. He'll get a second chance after the initial cross was blocked. It tumbles to the top of the area. Wellsmore. Neat feint. Wellsmore shoots from distance, but that one sails well over the bar, and the youngsters up on the hill are happy to go chase.
What a really good way to pass that was from Agwek with the outside of his right foot to bring Ahmed into the play. They couldn't make ends meet of it, but it was certainly a very good opening, a promising opening for Avondale down that right-hand side.
Avondale's coach Zoran Markovski, a very heavy rotator of his team during the first half of the season. Not so much as it gets to its business end. Avondale are currently 5 points behind Heidelberg, who themselves are playing tomorrow night in the Australia Cup. They are the top two in NPL Victoria, but they've had good cup runs as well. Great play by Yusuf Ahmed to strip the ball away, and Luca Tavir is accelerating. Plays it to the left. Great stand-up tackle. And that will allow the ball to go out for a goal kick.
Yeah, again, it's just missing the cutting edge for Avondale, isn't it? Once they work the ball into that top third, there's some really good driving runs and interchange through midfield. But that cutting edge is just lacking in this first half so far.
Well, the longer it remains scoreless, the more in confidence that Stirling will grow, because, of course, they also have a couple of wild cards on the bench that we're expecting to see at some point during the second half.
Yeah, they certainly are, but I think as well, on the flip side of that, Avondale will be looking forward to getting into that second half with the wind in their back, provided it doesn't change direction suddenly at half time.
Yusuf Ahmed. The ball is roosted clear, and this is a live ball to go and chase. It requires a bit of defending. Manos is going to be drawn out of his line, and he's going safety first, conceding a throw-in.
Yeah, the sweeper keeper to the rescue, and that's where the wind can cause a little bit of havoc. It's always easier to read the ball when you've got the wind in your back than when you're facing it. If Stirling Macedonia can sneak a goal in this first half with the wind in their back, it gives them something to defend in the second half.
Are they a chance here? No yellow shirts near that cross. Not exactly cleared to safety though. Dwayne tried to spin around the corner. Manos is able to pick up the ball. Dway, long ball, goes out.
Yeah, again, too straight from Dway. With this wind, you've really got to pick out the diagonal pass. Time it to the runs of those ahead of him. You can see what he was trying to do, but there's just not enough grass with this strong wind in his back.
Edwards, and now the pass intercepted. Is this Stirling's moment to go? Ball from the right is going to be put out for a corner kick.
Well, he got the corner in the end, but he just showed a little bit too much of that. In the one-on-one situation, I thought he had a better opportunity to get the ball under control. You see it here. Just shows too much of it to Aiden Bryce to sprint quick, but not a bad outcome.
And they are over on that right flank that they love so much. Doesn't matter whether it's live play or a dead ball. Little chip into the box. First header again. It goes just wide of the post. Chances are starting to build up now for Stirling. Avondale take the goal kick quickly. Trycheski. He'd love to just put his stamp on the game a little bit more. Trycheski is an attacking midfielder. He can be so dangerous in the pockets, but he's watching his team operate largely down in the defensive half at present.
Yeah, you're right. He does need to get into the game a little bit more, Trycheski, but you do wonder how many warnings Avondale need from these set pieces, as you called quite rightly, Teo. Third time by our counting that Stirling Macedonia have got the first head on the ball. It's only a matter of time before they get their eyes on the prize, which is the back of the net.
Volleyed on by Whitney, straight to Edwards. He's got support in the form of Bryce. For those of you that haven't been to Green Gully Reserve, that pavilion where you see people milling around the VIP, it doesn't face directly adjacent to the pitch. It's off on a little 45-degree angle, so it's not as picturesque a view as you might hope, but it certainly hasn't worried too many people out of the VIP, staying out of the heavy weather. Here's across from the right. Can Stirling strike here? Good defensive header. Nearly shanked by Tavir into his own arm. One Stirling player was appealing for handball. Wallen pops it back into the box, and that is catching practice for Manos. He hurls it out quickly.
And again, too straight a pass, this time from Wallen, who should know better. He's got plenty of experience. Anything straight and in the air is generally going to favour Avondale defending the situation. Will run through to Tom Manos.
Ahmed nudged off the ball. A chance here. Mackenzie, long shot. He's been full of goals since arriving from Scotland in Perth. 5 since arriving in the transfer window.
Well, first of all, Agwek was just not strong enough on the ball. I beg your pardon, it was Ahmed who gave that ball away, and then Mackenzie almost made them pay. It was a shot on target from a long distance.
Yite Towns sees a little bit of space to exploit, and now a beautifully measured pass. Valentini has switched over to the right side. Avondale perhaps swapping their wingers to hope for a bit of a different way to attack, but Valentini was offside there as he strayed beyond the defender.
Yeah, it's a shame. It was a very good pass. A slight question mark as to whether he was offside, but our assistant referee is better placed than us up here in the commentary position.
James Bosdet stepping out his run-up. Forcefully hard-won header. Agwek. Reed. Valentini. Can he start to find his best over on the right side? Tavir. Towns. Trycheski. Now Aiden Bryce. Matthew Reed. Ahmed. Towns. Can Avondale turn this passing move into a success? Valentini given a cause to go and chase. And Warland nodded it out to his own advantage. Fernal given away. Tavir. Trycheski. That's more the area he likes to operate. The pocket in attacking midfield. Tavir is combining beautifully. Trycheski saved initially and then raked in by the goalkeeper. And that is why we were calling for Christian Trycheski to get into the territory of the pitch that he likes to work in.
Exactly right. That was almost a beautifully worked Avondale goal. Gee, the interchange on the edge of the area was fantastic. And as you said, Trycheski right at the heart of everything good about that move, except for the finish. And once again, it all looked good until the cutting edge was required. And that's what let them down.
Tanevski concedes a little bit of ground with the pass, and a free kick here against Yusuf Ahmed. Means that Stirling can use an attacking half set piece. And as the wind continues to gust, they're going to go backwards rather than forwards. They like the left foot of Riley Warland as they're distributed from the back, but he's got company here in the form of Agwek, so he has to go back to his goalkeeper. flick header is going to be a little bit brisk for Tanevsky to chase down. Edwards. Bryce. The body language is saying to his midfield, give me an option. Agwek is the answer. Tavir. Valentini. Bryce. Little scoop pass outside of the foot. Valentini is going to barge onto the ball. Valentini, great last-ditch challenge coming in, conceding a corner, but Warland had to be there.
Yeah, he read that very well, Riley Warland. He looked like he just pulled up a little bit sore from that challenge, whether it's a bit of cramp. You can see Valentini again injecting himself. He's got that trickery, he's got those fast twitch fibres on the ball.
Matthew Reid has come up for the corner from the centre of defence. It's a tumbling corner. Edwards attacked the ball. All the way back to Towns. He was the man back at the corner kick. And he's going to be given the hurry up here, but Edwards is there to help him out. Trajewski. Down the left side he probes, and that's good defending from Dejan Spasevski to keep it away from Stefan Valentini, and he wins the throw for his side. Towns. That time a deflected pass, but it will still find a teammate in Yusuf Ahmed. Edwards. Great run by Tavir, made space, and now he turns onto his right, and it's batted down. The shot maybe lost a little bit of momentum in the air. It looked promising off the boot, but shooting into the wind has proved tricky in this half. Ahmed, Avondale stay on the attack. Tavir tried to slide it through a gap, and that's a really nice turn on the ball. Aston Montgomery full of confidence, and now can he turn defence into attack? Callum McKenzie was sprinting after the ball, but Thomas Manos quickly off his line.
Gee, if Montgomery could have got the weight of that pass right, that would have been a magical moment, because he turned out like a number 10 on his own penalty area to thwart the danger of Avondale, but then just quite couldn't connect with the pass.
Yusuf Ahmed plays a through ball, goalkeeper committed. Tangle of legs, foul given. Callum McKenzie is down hurt, he's slapping the turf after he was felled there by Matthew Reid. He's favouring his right lower leg. Just a knock. I don't think they're calling the trainer. His teammates are quickly in to assess him though.
It was nearly a disaster at the back, wasn't it? Just a moments earlier. There's the foul again. Matthew Reid adjudged to have gone right through the back of Callum McKenzie. I have to agree with Jonathan Barrero. An agricultural challenge.
I mean, 9 fouls and a half. Avondale is normally typically the ball-playing team that complains about the persistent fouling of their opponent. It's almost been a role reversal tonight for them to be quite prolific foulers for their nature in this half.
Yeah, and they've used it sometimes just to break the momentum that Stirling Macedonia have been able to build. And they have had some good periods on the ball, Stirling Macedonia.
Tanevsky was trying to stop Valentini escaping and does just enough to put it out for a throw, but Edwards is able to hurl it down the pitch. Valentini and Trajewski were chasing together. Towns. Ahmed's going to calm things down. Tavir. Edwards. Now Trajewski. Quick, following him like a shadow over on that side of the pitch. And so Avondale will go through the middle instead. Yusuf Ahmed. He's getting dragged deeper and deeper into midfield at the moment. That's a really clever pass. Edward meets it, and now to Veer. The ball heading back out to the left. Edwards, can he free the feet for a cross? He did. Didn't catch a deflection. It's going to be a corner kick for Avondale. And he's been really, arguably their best in this half, Mossy, the left back, Daniel Edwards.
Yeah, I think he has been. I was just thinking, just before that run, we hadn't seen him for a little while, but he definitely has provided the greatest threat for Avondale down that left-hand side.
No time wasted over the corner. Tavir swings it in. Good header away off the near post. Rising high to the ball. Second time it comes in. Tenevsky slices it high and away. Wellsmore through the back of his man. And that is 10 fouls in 44 minutes here for Avondale. And you do wonder if Argo Mujic and the bench are going to start shouting for cards to appear.
Well, I was just thinking, maybe Jonathan Brero's too scared to get it out. He thinks it might blow away. At some point, he's going to have to flash the yellow card. Here's the foul a few minutes earlier. That was the one on McKenzie. The most recent one was through the back of the neck for an aerial challenge.
Valentini happy to argue the toss with the referee. Probably would have been used to this sort of weather as well. Time at the end of the first half, and if the wind continues the way it has been, it's going to be a totally different looking game in the second half. Can Stirling Macedonia capitalise on the wind at their backs, in their sails? Can they score a goal and really throw the cat amongst the pigeons in the rooms at halftime for Avondale? Long ball from the restart. Flick header. No one there.
Well, the thing is, you can't go in as an Avondale player and just expect the wind to win the game for you in the second half. You certainly have to capitalise on it, but I think it'll give them a lot of confidence, Avondale, that they haven't conceded. Although they've gone into this game as favourites, that they haven't conceded defending into such a strong wind. But they have to go out and capitalise second half.
Only seconds left to play with here. Perhaps fitting that it's Reed and Bryce who continue to play the ball to one another. Trychetsky trying to get involved. But not in any great hurry. Now he's going to see an opportunity to go. And he comes to a standstill. Trychetsky. Tavir. Pops the ball over the top. Dway, the attacker, back trying to help out the defence. Yusuf Ahmed, edge of the box, and it's been nicked off his toes. That was vital, and that might be all we see in this first half. Stoppage time expires, and Johnny Barrero says, go and have your halftime team talks. Reset, reassess. This game has had 3 teams out there, Avondale, Stirling, and the conditions. It's unavoidable, and it has had a big say in this game being a stalemate to the break. Are we about to see a bit of history for Western Australia? At halftime, it's Avondale FC 0, Stirling Macedonia 0. Stay with us. Halftime break is going to be followed with a bit of analysis.
What are you doing?
We're planking.
It's because of our internet providers.
We're stuck in 2011.
Same slow internet speeds.
And high prices.
It's like a nightmare.
Enough planking. Superloop is a network purpose-built for the super-fast future of the internet. You are free.
Don't take it lying down, Australia. Refresh your internet.
You are free.
and especially given the fact that he's got number 80 on his back tonight. So look for him to come off the bench in the second half, depending on how this game goes. But of course, they've got the likes of Stefan Zini as well and Kirker. So plenty of firepower off the bench for coach to bring on Zoran Markovsky, of course, the Avondale coach. So it just depends when he's prepared to play his hand.
And of course, Stirling Macedonia, what minute will they unleash Lee Griffiths onto this match? We are waiting to find out, as are you. Stay with us through this short break. When we return, the second half not far away. You're watching the Hahn Australia Cup.
Which 17? 15. What's that?
Your homeless box.
Oh, these are only things I could. I like these too. I like these. I got them in the.
between Avondale FC and Stirling Macedonia in this Hahn Australia Cup round of 32 clash. The West Australians had the wind at their backs in the first half. Now we get to see exactly how things go when Avondale bats second. It's been a committed and really sturdy performance so far from Stirling Macedonia. What ambitions do they have to score a goal of their own? Could playing into the wind actually be to their liking in the second half? And how long will it take Avondale to adjust? Phil Moss, coaching in this situation, how much of the halftime team talk would have preoccupied making sure players adjust their weight of pass?
Yeah, look, I think you'd mention the conditions, of course, but I just feel like Avondale have really set the platform in that first half physically, and then they started to tighten the screws towards the end of that first half as well, creating a few chances. Of course, they've got to go on with it now. They can't expect the wind to win the game for them. They have to take advantage of it.
So it's going to be Stirling Macedonia kicking off, attacking the right of your screens in the second half. Can they pull off what would be a monumental win for Football West and their NPL? Just the third time a State Federation team from WA would have won. We're going to have a redo on kickoff here. And now we are underway, and Riley Warland with a tumbling pass, which gives possession straight to Yite Towns from kickoff, gets us back underway. And now Emlyn Wellsmore plays the ball to Christian Trycheski. Had arguably Avondale's best chance to score in that first half with his shot that went into the side netting.
Well, what a perplexing kickoff when you're playing into a wind of this strength. I can't believe that Stirling Macedonia were putting the ball on the ground and tried to keep possession and build something.
Bit of late contact here from Manny Agwek has left his opponent floored. He's been at the heart of a lot of action, Riley Warland, and we did see him pull up a little bit sore after making a defensive block in the first half. He seems to be okay, but let's just see how sore he is as this game wears on. I imagine that the plans would have been for him to play the entire game. And he gets plenty of distance on that free kick. So first, the kickoff may not have worked too well, but that free kick did. Avondale clear. Just trying to enjoy some time in possession. The side in blue. Luca Tavir hustling. Yusuf Ahmed leaps over a slight challenge. And that is well defended from Brett Quick to send it out for a throw. Quick resumes his work at right back, but in the meantime, Luca Tavir has possession, went to ground. Fernal did really well to take the ball off him.
You can't help but think Tavir just got half a glance of goal then, thinking the wind's in my back, and then he lost sight of the ball or lost touch. But no doubt, Avondale, they have to stay patient, not try and make every attack a goal.
They are working their way down the right here with Trycheski. That pass to Whitney. Is he going to find Dway? He has a deflection that is to his team's advantage. Great to see plenty of red and yellow in the crowd, whether they are travelling Stirling Macedonia fans or some Preston Lions Melbourne-based fans who have come to support their sister club.
Yeah, I feel like the ones up in the boardroom have got the prime seats.
Bouncing ball in midfield. Yite Towns is trying to free his feet and does so very nicely. A couple of slide challenges failed to take the ball. Edwards wants to continue where he left off at the end of the first half. Ahmed, now Tavir. The back heel was misguided and he's going to commit a foul. And well, at the end of the first half, Mossy, we were speculating how long until the first yellow card. It's taken 2.5 minutes to arrive for Luca Tavir.
Yeah, and again, a little bit of frustration. It was a silly foul. There's no need to concede a yellow card and a free kick in the other order, of course. At that stage of the second half, at that point on the pitch, I mean, there was still a lot of grass for Stirling Macedonia to cover if they're going to cause any problems. Now, Tavir will have to tread that fine line on a yellow card. You don't want, if you're an Avondale player or coaching staff, you don't want frustration creeping in this early.
Long restart of play. Actually getting a bit of decent distance into the wind. And now through Dway. He is stood up by Wellsmore. Valentini. Stefan Valentini. That's a really good challenge coming in from Aston Montgomery. That one, not so much. A tap of the ankles and foul and a free kick. Avondale want to take it quickly and do. Trycheski slips it through the right. Valentini still working. And the header. Oh, brilliant save! As good as you will see. James Bosdet, fingertips round the post.
Well, that is world class. I don't like to throw that term out lightly. It's brilliant delivery into the area, and it's a great purchase on the header from Agwek, and he cannot fairly believe that that ball is not nestled in the back of the net.
Here's the resulting corner, and this time the header from Ahmed doesn't quite have the shape to require the goalkeeper, but
wow.
Manny Agwek at close range, a powerful header, and somehow he's had the power in the fingers to get it round the post.
And I must say, with the wind in his back as well, so Bosdet didn't only have a forceful header coming his way at an angle, he had the wind behind the ball, and that is a really, really good save.
They are going to have a hard time putting up with 40 more minutes of attacking like that from Avondale, but it's the sort of thing that will galvanise belief inside the Stirling Macedonia camp. Throw in here.
Well, that move had something they didn't have in the first half, and that was the cutting edge. All but a fantastic save from Bosdet. That would have been their opening goal.
Quick with the throw in. The right back trying to support Stirling's attack. Now he plays a square ball. Ewan Cameron. Fernal. Warland. The build-up is promising here. Mackenzie. The build-up comes unstuck. He was coming back from an offside position.
The pass was too good from Riley Warland, wasn't it? Caught him by surprise. He hadn't done the work to get back on side. But a good response from Stirling Macedonia after that big, big chance to Manny Agwek.
And now Avondale find themselves playing out from right back here. And a decent little trap has been set by Stirling. Ewan Cameron certainly convinced that it's his team's throw. Referee doesn't agree. Tavir. Bryce's pass. Nearly sharked, nearly taken by Tanevski, but instead it's Yusuf Ahmed who just wills the ball forward. And now enough players have stuck a boot in that they are able to extract it and win possession back. Bending pass out to the left. Dwayne, not at any advantage to him though. Wellsmore takes over.
Just keep an eye on Yusuf Ahmed. He just pulled out of that last challenge. Looks to be moving okay at the moment.
Tavir heard the shout from Edwards. Edwards clips in the ball. Unmarked is Valentini. And he volleys over the bar.
The ball just wouldn't sit for him, Valentini. It popped up onto his chest. But he couldn't get it down quick enough to get the volley away. And keep it low enough. Good delivery to the back post from Daniel Edwards. But again, the conditions just come to the rescue, I guess, for Stirling Macedonia. But that man there, gee whiz, James Bosdet, we saw him with a decent save in the first half across the face of goal. One-handed, opposite-hand save. But the one we just saw a few moments ago off the head of Agwek was absolutely outstanding.
Now he's taking the goal kick. He's getting great distance against the wind. Bryce. Warland's header. Yusuf Ahmed. Reed sends it out to the right. Valentini becoming more and more prominent in the game. It hits Agwek, and it sits up kindly for Christian Trycheski to nestle it in the bottom left corner. Avondale do have a goal. It's taken 8 minutes of the second half, and it's Christian Trycheski, their playmaker, with his 4th of the season.
Well, in the end, it's a fantastic finish by Trycheski. A really assured finish past that man there, James Bosdet, and it had to be good to beat him in the form he's been in tonight. They maybe got a little bit lucky as the ball was swung in from the right-hand side And you can see there, it just hits the backside of Agwek, Manny Agwek, and falls beautifully for Trychevsky, who does the rest. But it's good delivery into the area. They get a little bit lucky there, but that is an assured finish by Trychevsky.
Well, Stefan Valentini will look at Manny Agwek and say, you get the assist for that. No doubt about the goal scorer, Trychevsky, nestling it in the net. But yeah, you're right to say there was a touch of fortune to it, but they had the numbers in the box.
They did, and it's been coming, and they've been tightening the screws, Avondale. So not surprising to see them go ahead, but you can see again the conditions and the role that they play with the wind in their back rather than in their face.
It really does give the perception that they are rolling downhill now. Slide challenge crucial to keep the ball off Yusuf Ahmed, but he's going to get it back from a throw in. Tries for the nutmeg, can't quite pull it off. Quick not letting him have it. Ball bounces past McKenzie. And a tangle between McKenzie and Aiden Bryce. The Avondale captain's not happy with a bit of the byplay, but the ball has left the scene, and Dway has committed a foul here. Towns allowed to drift forward. He wanted to send it over to Edwards. Ahmed is going wherever the game needs him at the moment. That pass gives possession away. And now it's a solo show here from Callum McKenzie. Does he have enough in support? He turns onto his preferred left side. Squares it back. Ewan Cameron out to the right flank. Tanevsky. Is this the moment for Stirling Macedonia? It's not just yet. And they will reload, but they're committing numbers forward. Going behind, sparked them to life seemingly. That's a great challenge from Towns. And he's able to strip the ball away from Quick.
That's a really good challenge from Towns. Had he got him behind him there, that could have spelt some danger. The game's just starting to open up a little bit now, which is nice to see.
Possession coughed up here by Spasevsky. Are they going to pay the price here? Valentini, well, he had an unmarked man in the middle and popped it straight into the keeper's gloves.
Times two, and both of them weren't happy at all with his decision to go for goal. You can see now Stirling Macedonia just need to open up a little bit and try and peg a goal back. Avondale will be more than happy to try and exploit the spaces that creates.
That was a huge opportunity to double their lead and take the game away. Fernal, as long as it stays the odd goal the difference, Stirling Macedonia will feel like they have a puncher's chance, especially if the game livens up and they take a few more risks now that they're the ones trying to pursue an equaliser. Pass was blind around the corner. Yute Towns in the perfect position. Now the goal scorer, Trychevsky, trying to turn provider. Manny Agwek can't get the step right for the shot. And coming through at the last, Fernal is able to get it away. There's Luca Tavia protesting that he was wiped out in the build-up there, but the attack just kept going.
Yeah, and the advantage was probably played. I'm assuming it was.
When Avondale go forward, they look so much more menacing now. Tavia. Towns takes the long shot. That one not his finest. He's a great Tasmania success story, Yute Towns. He came over to the mainland in Victoria the best part of 8 or 9 years ago and has been able to carve out a very good NPL Victoria career. He's got Ethiopian heritage and was plying his trade in the NPL in Tasmania before becoming a key part of this Avondale side for a very long time. James Bosdet here is doing everything he can just to slow things down, let his defence just compose themselves in the wave of Avondale attacks that are raining down upon them at the moment. They're going to win the ball and a free kick here and into the pocket. Johnny Barrero reaches for a yellow card for Yute Towns after a mistimed challenge here on Ewan Cameron.
too much choice here. Jonathan Barrero. He's a big illegal challenge in the middle of the park by Ite Towns, as we see finally Avondale going to the bench.
So Stefan Valentini is coming off for Stefan Zinni, and we are also going to see Matthew Reid take his leave, and Massimo D'Argenio is going to be coming on. So a change at centre back, and with the lead in pocket, this may well be a consideration for Avondale, that they are competing on a number of fronts at the moment. They are still in the premiership race, albeit some 5 points behind Heidelberg United in NPL Victoria. And so Reid leaves the game. On comes D'Argenio, and he goes straight in next to Aidan Bryce at centre back. Could also for the hour mark. Bryce leads into the ball. Yusuf Ahmed, space to roam, out to the right flank. Trajewski. A little stumble, a little step, it's a foul and a penalty. And it didn't matter that he was seemingly losing the ball, because by the time he won it back, it was enough to step in and win a spot kick.
Yeah, some good trickery here from Trajewski. Uses his feet well, gets one-on-one with the defender, gets a little bit lucky he doesn't trip over the ball, but then drops the right shoulder, cuts inside onto the left foot. And I think the decision from Jonathan Barrero was a given.
Disappointment for Aston Montgomery, the player who gave the foul away for this penalty kick. And James Bosdet, who was part of Stirling Macedonia penalty heroics to get them to this stage of the tournament. He saved a penalty with Stirling Macedonia 1-0 up in extra time against Inglewood United to get them through to this national round. Yusuf Ahmed, though, is a true professional, and he puts the penalty down the middle emphatically. And even though the U crew that normally come to Avondale's regular home ground aren't there to celebrate with him, his teammates are. It's 2-0.
Yeah, it's a good finish by Yusuf Ahmed. He just, as we see the penalty again, some trickery from Trajewski, gets the better of Montgomery. And he just ever so slightly delays the strike on the ball, does Ahmed, and just waits for Bosdet to pick his direction. He goes early, and it's a good finish from that man there.
Double change coming for Stirling Macedonia. Lee Griffiths has come on. Is it too little too late? And third top scorer this season, Josh Bilalowski, is also one. He has 6 goals in all competitions. Griffiths has just the 2, but he's only recently joined up with this Stirling Macedonia team. And they come on for Alex Tanevsky and Samuel Dway respectively. So the starting attackers haven't fired the way Stirling Macedonia might have hoped. On come the alternates. And right now they come into an environment where Avondale are starting to take this game away. No love lost there after the foul either. Emlyn Wellsmore was the man knocked over. Free kick has been taken and it's live at the feet. Long ball from the left side of defence. Towns.
Well, Argo Mujic going to his bench and going for that experience of Lee Griffiths, 34-year-old. You know, you can play when you've had clubs like Dundee, Celtic, Wolves. Can he help get his side back into this game? It was a hill to climb. It's now become a bit of a mountain. 2 goals plus the conditions.
Well, there's his first touch, but he was well guarded by Massimo D'Argenio. Stirling Macedonia will probe the left side instead. Callum McKenzie, he hasn't stopped trying, but he can't find a way past Emlyn Wellsmore here. And a push in the back from Wellsmore. No booking to go with it though.
Well, he certainly didn't hide this one, as you'll see both hands in the back. Well, there it is.
Set piece might be the hope here for Stirling Macedonia. Can they put this on the money though? Taken short. Fernal. Warland. Low ball. And at the edge of the penalty area, Kant's coming out of the pocket here. It's another yellow for a late foot left in here by Whitney. And he's fouled Yite Town. So Calvin Whitney gets a yellow card.
Yeah, those ones don't tickle. He just leaves the studs in there. You just see it there. It's late to get there. Studs on the ankle.
Of course, if you get sent off in a game like this, the suspension will be served in the NPL in the upcoming games that you've got. So it's not like if a Stirling Macedonia player is to receive a red card, it doesn't matter until next year's Australia Cup. No, you serve it in the NPL. So if the game does feel like it's slipping away, they still need to keep their heads. Here is Bryce. He was allowed to drift, and, well, he nearly bisected the Stirling defence. Pressure here on Whitney, the man who just received a booking. Backspin on the ball. An energetic header from Tavir. Trycheski. And Ahmed gives away the free kick. Griffiths is a lone hand, and even though he's isolated, he's going to get to the ball. He goes to ground, and the referee waves away the appeals.
Gee whiz, you could see Griffiths using all his experience there. He was just waiting for a little bit of contact. I'm happy with the decision Jonathan Barrero went with in the end. He's certainly playing for it, Lee Griffiths.
Avondale trying to sting at the other end, Zinni. Well, let's take another look. Was it a penalty?
Gee, it could be deemed as clumsy, but I'm still going to back the referee on this occasion. I just think that the contact was so minimal. Lee Griffiths using his experience to wait for the first touch and then get his body in and then wait for the contact.
D'Argenio looks completely comfortable having come off the bench to stand at the centre of defence, and you can see there's no real energy in the press from Stirling Macedonia. They might be 2-0 down, but they're not exactly hunting the ball at present.
No, well, they haven't all game pressed high. They've sort of set their midfield block and waited for Avondale to start playing into it. But obviously 2 goals down on the scoreboard, they're going to have to start to find some energy.
D'Argenio, great vision and an equally good pass. Manny Agwek played it to Wellsmore, and Wellsmore seemingly had his hands full. He claims his shirt was grabbed, but the referee had already whistled for a free kick the other way.
Well, it was a sloppy pass from Agwek. It just didn't have the pace on it that it needed. It allowed the defender to get in between the player and the ball.
Cameron back to the centre of defence. Tavir slides off his head. Agwek Sees the seam and he's going to break into space. Trajewski tried for a little back heel on, but it was blocked clear. And coming off defence, this is Bilalowski who wins the free kick, and Stirling are quick to take it. Trying to make some headway is McKenzie. And we're going to have activity on the sidelines. More substitutions as we tick towards the final 20 minutes of the 90. Yusuf Ahmed comes off here, and it's Kerr who is coming on, one of the South Sudanese connections in the team. And the next sub that is coming is Courtney Perkins, who is coming on. Jackson Courtney Perkins, the older brother of Sydney FC player Jordan. He's coming on here for Luca Tavir, and there's going to be a change as well for Stirling. And it is Asher Nelson who is into the game. And he comes on for Calvin Whitney, who did pick up that yellow card. And speaking of cards, Ago Mujic was dismissed from the technical area at half-time, so he hasn't returned to the bench in the second half. All of these subs are taking place without the gaffer for Stirling Macedonia. I'm sure that whatever sanction is attached to that will be determined in the aftermath of this game, but the short-term outcome is that they don't have the boss out there coaching them. A bit of push and shove and a bit of chippiness, and players need to keep their cool here. As we've said, cards picked up tonight could have ramifications for the league season ongoing. Just not much in that, just a little bit of frustration coming to the fore. Johnny Barrero is going to lay down the law for any push and shove that's taking place on the goal line here. So the corner, is this Stirling's chance to halve the deficit? It'll sit up at the edge of the box. Fernal, it's a shallow pass, it's scuffed into the area. Warland, and the man straight off the bench there in Asher Nelson had just half a chance, but the ball wouldn't sit for him between his feet. And now Kerr, he's just come off the bench as well. Takes possession on the right side. Agwek, the volley. Oh, it's wide. Well, he was looking for the spectacular there, Manny Agwek, but he couldn't steer it onto the target. A little smile. He knows what he was trying to do.
Yeah, it would have been an end-to-end transition moment for Avondale, wouldn't it? Agwek with some good skill to get the ball into a shooting position, just couldn't execute the volley. The clock not working against Stirling Macedonia just yet, but it's certainly creeping into that territory if they're going to get themselves back into this game. They have to do it rather soonish.
Spaseski. Long ball from Spaseski. Solid header by Dargenio. Towns pops the ball over the top, and definitely too much on it. This is a holding pattern that Stirling Macedonia can't afford to get too trapped in, playing the ball around their defence. Avondale obviously now happy to stand off. They've made a number of subs. Obviously they're spoiled for choice. They've got a wealth of riches on their bench for an NPL outfit. So it's not like there's a drop-off when they bring on their alternative players. Here's Bryce. He's collected late. So it'll be a free kick right on halfway.
It's a snapshot of the game, isn't it, Teo? Hasn't really been able to get into any rhythm as we see the foul on halfway. He's never really found any rhythm or momentum or fluency. You can put that down to the conditions playing a part.
Kerr goes to ground, and it's not been the best minute for Callum McKenzie. He commits 2 fouls in quick succession.
This is a good area for a free kick with this wind as well. If they can keep the delivery reasonably flat with plenty of whip and tail on it, could cause some problems for the Stirling Macedonia defence.
Is the plan a direct shot on goal? Kerr stands over the free kick that he won. Christian Trajewski, 1 goal already to his name tonight. Will it be one of these two honing in on the target? The wall has been set, 3 in it, and plenty of eager players waiting to follow inside the box. Here comes the free kick then. It's Kerr. It takes a deflection off the wall, and that will go behind for a corner kick.
Yeah, the wall does its job, as you'd expect. Stood tall, stood firm. Never really looked like it had the punch behind it to trouble Bosdet, particularly in the form that he showed us tonight. One very good save in the first half, one exceptional save in the second.
Here comes the corner, whipped in. Bosdet able to parry it away. That's an up and under clearance from Quick. Did it catch a deflection though? Yes, it did. It's a goal kick out of Aidan Bryce. So 15 minutes to go. May as well run the risk of conceding a third and try to halve the deficit, get one back, at least plant a seed of doubt in Avondale minds. But right now they can't escape their defensive half, can Stirling. Edwards, Towns. And his pass is too difficult to retrieve for Trajewski. It's been a busy night for the West Australian goalkeeper in this tussle. Of course, there are other representatives. Olympic Kingsway have got a marquee tie. They're taking on Melbourne Victory in the round of 32. And Perth Glory, the third West Australian club in the competition, they've got the Wellington Phoenix also at home. So we may yet have a signature moment for the Sandgropers in this year's Hahn Australia Cup. Ewan Cameron back to Riley Warland, a really risky pass. He sold Spaseski into trouble, but he came across and cleared in the nick of time. Quick. It's still going to be a Stirling throw.
I think as we just tick over the 76th minute mark, this is exactly how Zoran Markovski would have hoped at half-time. The second half would have played out. The wind in their back, giving them a little bit of advantage, a little bit more energy. They've capitalised twice.
The attack was initiated by Montgomery, but Aidan Bryce short circuits it down in defence. Towns has really controlled the tempo of the game in this second half from the base of midfield for Avondale. He's just looked so much more effective when the team has had the wind at its back and he's been able to dictate play. That pass from Edwards not his finest, but he's going to burst through and immediately make amends, and now send it out in front of Stefan Zinni, and he is speeding after the ball. Zinni wheels around, he's gone via the cape to the penalty area, and he's mown down for a penalty kick. He turned on the afterburners, and Stefan Zinni proved just a bit too quick. It's a second penalty of the night for Avondale.
Well, first and foremost, well defended by Daniel Edwards, and then he set defence into attack, and he put Stefan Zinni away down this left-hand side. We know he's powerful, we know he's quick, we know he loves to be direct with his runs on the ball, and he shows us every bit of that and more to draw the penalty for his side.
Bosdet's been booked for dissent. The man who gave away the penalty kick, Brent Quick, has not received a card. It was just a foul by him. And so, with Yusuf Ahmed having been subbed off, Manny Agwek, who would perhaps still be thinking about his close-range header, which was saved by, frankly, a miracle by James Bosdet, now wants to make amends from the spot. Here's Quick fouling even quicker.
And Zinni, that's a really good winger's run, that. He knew exactly what he wanted to do once the ball was out in front of him, as we see Bosdet incur the wrath of Jonathan Barrero. Very good wingers run. And this is the end result. A spot kick for his teammate.
Short run up for Matty Agwek. And he nestles the penalty. Keeper might have gone the right way, but Matty Agwek is in double figures for a reason. And he brings out a very amusing celebration. Avondale 3, Stirling Macedonia 0. They are set course for the round of 16.
Yeah, and here's that ball forward from Daniel Edwards to set Zini on his way. And he takes on the defender. Quick isn't quick enough. He draws the foul, and this is a really good spot kick. A really good spot kick from Agwek, because Bosdet picks the right way. And it's at a decent height for him, but the power of the strike is enough to find the back of the net for their third goal of the evening.
And so some match time on the national stage for a couple of Stirling Macedonia players. Bailey Montgomery-Brown and also Kai Matthews coming off the bench here. Callum McKenzie takes his leave. He's fought hard for his team's cause, but ultimately just wasn't put in a position to actually fire a shot on goal. And Aston Montgomery, who gave away the first of the two penalties tonight, has also been replaced by Kai Matthews. Feel as though there has been a great competitive intent at times from Stirling Macedonia, but with the added obstacle of going into the win in this half, they just haven't got close enough to the penalty area to think about set pieces, long shots, even a killer pass. It just hasn't taken place for them in the right area of the pitch.
No, that's right. We spoke late in that first half, Teo, about the importance of them scoring a goal with the wind in their back, giving them something to defend in the second half.
That's a killer pass though. Zinni's through, he rounds the keeper, oh, but he can't finish, falling off balance. It was a ripper ball from Matty Agwek from deep in midfield.
Well, that'll go in to the Hahn Australia Cup bloopers reel, I think, unfortunately, Stefan, because you did all the hard work so brilliantly and then fluffed your lines.
They don't feel quite as bad at 3-0 up, Mossy, but I entirely expected that to be a fourth.
Yeah, absolutely. And he'd done all the hard work so brilliantly. But he really never looked like he had complete balance and control of the execution.
Matty Agwek is finishing the night in a real blaze of glory here. He's got his goal from the penalty spot, and now he's starting to spray passes to all corners of the pitch. Could be a bit of a torrid last 10 minutes here for Stirling Macedonia. I think anyone who wanted an early night has already been subbed off by Zoran Markovski, so the guys out there want to press their case to be starters again, not just in the round of 16, but no doubt in a finals series where Avondale will be taking on fellow Australia Cup qualifiers, Heidelberg United and South Melbourne. Here comes Yite Towns. Targenio. And Trajewski's left a foot in late here as well. He fouls Ewan Cameron. Maybe a little fortunate not to join a plethora of players who are in the referee's book. And we're going to see... Well, I called for this at halftime. It's come very late here, Mossy. Sian Cuba is going to come on and get a little cameo here, and he replaces a player who's put his best foot forward in the second half, Yite Towns.
Yeah, he's been good, hasn't he? Yite Towns in the second half. He's driven the team forward from midfield, broken the play up when he's needed to, a couple of fouls in there. But I hope we get an opportunity, apart from for Stirling Macedonia fans, of course, to see Cuba with a long-range strike.
It's very, not just at this venue with Liam Boland, it's very Magic of the Cup, because you might remember that incredible Danny Choi goal that he scored from inside his own half all those years ago, Mossy. Sian Cuba is exactly that sort of player who wants a highlight of his own of a similar stature.
Well, for his sake and all Avondale fans, let's hope he can produce it.
Stirling Macedonia, of course, have emptied their bench. They have a number of fresh faces out there keen to make their case as well. Score an Australia Cup goal in the national rounds. Regardless of the game state, it's always a big deal. It means you're immortal on Wikipedia for the rest of your career, if nothing else, Mossy, and people get to remember a nice moment.
Well, once you're on Wikipedia, you are immortal.
Well, there might be a chance here. Manos really sold into trouble by a shallow back pass. Dargenio now will see Avondale escape their defensive half, but not for long. Warland. That's a block that's been put in, though, on Josh Bilolowski. And off the chest here of Cuba, it's going to deflect kindly Zinni. It was nearly take two. Here's Sian Cuba. Wasn't handled outside the area. Play continues. Agwek! It's 4, and Kerr has put it in the nets. 4 for Avondale, and Kerr, he is enjoying himself. He's come off the bench to score.
Well, you probably wouldn't call it a long-range strike, but it was a very, very good strike from Kerr. A very cultured left foot that just found the far corner. You see here, Bosdet doing everything in his power. I'm happy with that decision there. I think it was connected just inside. But look at Kerr. He knows exactly what he's doing there. And he dispatches it with some real quality. Perfect first touch, perfect second touch, a perfect fourth goal.
And the assist in the build-up for Manny Agwek, who found him with a pass. So Kerr puts it in the net. And it is 4-0. I don't want to be a hanging judge, Mossy. We'll come back to that because Stirling Macedonia are about to win an attacking half free kick. Good hustle. And, well, there's afters here, and the chippiness continues. Bailey Montgomery Brown's come off the bench and doesn't want to take a backward step, and he's going to get a yellow card for his confrontation. But, yes, I don't want to be a hanging judge, Mossy, but I reckon if we had VAR, James Bosdet may have handled that ball outside the area. I reckon it was pretty close.
Well, I'm thinking it came off the chest onto the arm.
Oh, so it wasn't even a handball?
Well, no, I think it collected the arm, but off the chest. I think it ricocheted. Here we go. Here's the strike. Oh, gee.
It's a
hard one to see from that angle.
It's both a UB, the ref, and a freeze framer. Anyway, let's go back to this free kick. Lee Griffiths, can he score Stirling Macedonia's first goal? He's going to dink it into the box. It's a chance at the back post. And it's cleared away. Asher Nelson was a decent chance. The counter-attack could be lethal. Kerr's just scored. Now he plays it to Trycheski. Agwek's ahead of the ball. The back heel nearly found its way to Zinni. Zinni's going to block the attempted defensive clearance. And he ran out of real estate against the line. Did he do enough to keep it in? He did not.
Gee, didn't Agwek have to stretch for that back heel? I did my hamstring just watching it. Desperate to try and keep the ball in play.
Well, they've kept the tempo high and they've really run this game out, Avondale. There's been no suggestion of junk time out there. They really have made every second count. Ball goes all the way back to Thomas Manos, who no doubt, like any committed keeper, will be desperate to keep a clean sheet and make sure that he leaves unblemished in his contribution tonight. Sian Cuba, header over the top. Zinni. Cuba's going to pick the pocket here. Great play by Sian Cuba. Zinni shot on strike and he sets it well over the bar.
Oh, he had to do better there, Zinni. He had the space. He's got the quality. He just got a little bit too excited as we see half a shout for handball. I'm not going to see that overturned by VAR because we don't have it. There you can see maybe a little bit harsh. Maybe there was a slight bobble just as he went to strike the ball. Stefan Zinni.
Stirling, you've got to be careful. And despite the presence of a pressing Manny Agwek, they are able to only concede a throw rather than more. They're in real red-hot danger of the scoreline reaching 5, though. Avondale want more. Edwards Can he chase it down? It stops and props right on the line. Quick. And is able to find a teammate, and they're working their way out of defence through Bilolowski. Quick again. Leans into the ball. Ewan Cameron. Good challenge made, though. Wellsmore stepping up into midfield. Riley Warland able to squeak it out to the left flank. It's been held to skelter, but Stirling, well, they're clinging on here, trying to avoid more damage. That's a sweeping pass to Zinni. Can he finally get his goal? Parried away by Bosdets.
He just never got the clean connection he was looking for, Zinni, did he? Found himself in acres of space. It was a good ball played into his path. First touch was decent. Second touch never really threatened James Bosdet in the Stirling Macedonia goal. Here's the giveaway. Oh no, I beg your pardon, that's a foul. There's been a lot of niggle in the game, hasn't it? Nothing overly vicious, just a lot of niggle from both sides.
Well, I mean, the tone's been set by the number of fouls that were committed in that first half, and the foul count was just ticking over consistently. Players are going to have long memories. They're also probably going to be challenging the referee about yellows given for some fouls and not for others. Zoran Markovski, the gaffer, wants to be in on the act. He wants his name on the score sheet with the yellow card, and indeed he's got one right as the game ticks into 4 additional minutes. Zinni, he's desperate to leave with a goal, and he's running forward here on a solo drive. Sends it out to the right. Kerker's got one, leaves it with Zinni. Zinni dinks it in. Agwek! High five for Avondale. It's been a good night out in the Hahn Australia Cup for them, and Matty Agwek has a goal to round out what has been a stellar display.
Yeah, he certainly earned that one, hasn't he? It's probably the easiest goal he'll ever score in his career. Some wonderful work by Stefan Zinni to pick him out right on the goal line, right in the middle of the goal. And there it is there. I think he even scores it with his shoulder or chest. Got that much time and space. Kerker gives it to Zinni. I don't think he's too happy that Zinni tackled him, but there's the finish. And a very easy finish for Agwek, who's had a fantastic game for his side tonight.
So a goal from the penalty spot, and now one from open play. 5-0. It's a handsome win, and Avondale's record of only ever having been eliminated from this competition by A-League teams means that they once again passed the test of a member federation opponent. First time they've played a club from WA, and they've made it pretty emphatic here. Trycheski, his goal got the scoring started. We've had 90 seconds of 4 additional minutes.
Yeah, I just think the foundation that Avondale set in that first half by keeping a clean sheet, being physical, earning the right to play, and they come out with the added confidence of the conditions and the wind in their back. It's just too much for Stirling Macedonia.
If I can press you, Mossy, with a couple of minutes to go, for your thoughts on who you might flag for the Michael Cockrell Medal, of course, which is presented every year in this competition. Another way of me asking, who's your player of the match out there tonight?
And very apt that it's the Mike Cockrell Medal. A very good friend of mine, gone way too soon. Sorely missed, but this is one of his legacies, I think. The Australia Cup, he was so passionate about connecting all levels of the game. But for me, it's just a no-brainer. Daniel Edwards gets it hands down for me. I know there's been some other standout moments from players, but from the first moment to this moment, he's been up and down that left-hand side.
The scoring might not be done. Yes, it's a first goal in the national rounds for Stirling Macedonia. A giveaway late in the piece. And it's all smiles for Bailey Brown Montgomery, I should say. He is going to go down as Stirling Macedonia's first round of 32 goal scorer, and they do not leave empty-handed.
That's right, and it's down to some sloppiness at the back for Avondale, giving the ball away, but take nothing away from that finish. Bailey Brown Montgomery with a really assured finish into the far bottom corner of Avondale's net, really giving Tom Marnus no chance whatsoever. That's a very, very good finish.
And so even though the result was not in any doubt, we've seen Stirling Macedonia run this one right out to the end with one of their subs contributing. Is that simply going to prompt another answer from Avondale here? Do they want the final say with only 20 seconds to go in this game? Stefan Zinni.
Well, it's a blot on the copybook, isn't it, Teo, of an otherwise very good performance from Avondale. But just going back to Daniel Edwards, his work rate has been phenomenal. He's had moments of real class and quality. He set Zinni away down the left-hand side after defending the situation with a brilliant pass that set up the penalty. Very good overall performance.
And the full-time whistle goes. Avondale FC, they have a really impressive record in the Hahn Australia Cup, and they're in the hat for the round of 16. One of 3 West Australian participants is toppled. Stirling Macedonia's first trip to the national rounds ends in defeat. Avondale advance. Your full-time score at Green Gully Reserve. Avondale FC 5, Stirling Macedonia 1. Congratulate their fans and say thank you for support on a tough night. The rain stayed away after kickoff, but it was very windy from start to finish. You can see there that Aidan Bryce, the captain, has got the banner. Let's go down to Archie Thompson, who's got some post-match reaction for us. Not just yet. Archie's going to be ready for us soon, we hope. In fact, we might have to wait for Archie, and I'm sure whoever